Aloha, how you doing? It is Dave Lawrence, and a big mahalo for tuning in and catching this here in our HPR Atherton Performing Arts Studio, where I've been so many times, and I'm always so grateful to be in here. I've got Jason Taglianetti in the control room, as usual, to run things. And this is a room where a lot of different things happen. We've done some debates in here. We do a lot of different local music. We have international music stars. Sometimes it's interviews. There's poetry. Today I'm very fortunate, joined by these cats who you may know if you're into local rock scene, Borrison Ivy, and a real pleasure to welcome to the studio Richard, Ed, and Kip, and aloha and mahalo. Thank you guys very much for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having us here. Yeah,
it's our pleasure.
Yeah, it's a great pleasure to have you here too, and mahalo to Richard for turning me on to the band. What we have here is a group that are a local rock band. Describe yourselves a little bit before we hear some of the music.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell you what other people have said about us very kindly. They kind of said we sounded a bit like Van Halen, meets AC/DC, meets Randy Rhoads, you know, the Ozzy Osbourne guitarist. They've said it's foot-stomping rock, catchy, danceable, melodic, and
try to keep it catchy.
Mainstream modern rock Hawaii can be proud to claim was one recent quote from a paper. I don't think anybody's heard us and said, my God, what is that? You know, oh, no, actually a couple of people in the Middle East, but yeah, okay.
And I noticed that name in here, right? Dubai. Explain how the band was conceived there.
I put it together when I was living in Dubai a few years ago. And we played there for about a year while I was working there. Then I transplanted here to Hawaii and kind of picked up where I left off. Found great new local musicians.
And talk a little bit, Ed, how'd you get hooked up with this guy?
Well, a couple of months ago, I was introduced to Richard through another...
Say it right into your mic there. You got you.
Oh, well, then I don't see you.
Well, we'll just have to mind meld on it.
Okay. But anyways, as I was saying, I met Richard a couple of months ago when I was doing another project. And when we were doing it, Richard liked the way I was playing, and he asked me if I wanted to be on the CD. So we got together, and we ended up liking what we were doing together, and he asked me to come into the studio, and we went ahead and recorded a few of the songs that I played on. But overall, I've been playing here in Hawaii for over 35, 36, 37 years with all different local entertainers, and loved every minute of it.
Give a plug to a few of the people that folks may have heard you with over the years.
Well, I've played with
Rachel Victoria Band.
Yeah, the Rachel Victoria Band. We put out a CD years back. I had the great pleasure to play with a really good guitar player by the name of Joe Harsman, who now plays in other bands as well. I've played in a lot of local with a lot of local entertainers. I've played with Richard Baba Yaga, who has also a CD out, and played with him. I've actually done some things with Henry Capono and Mr. Rodriguez.
Nice.
Yeah.
Didn't you say the other day you played with Ginger Baker for a moment?
Well,
or he played your drum?
Yeah, he has a polo team that comes out here at the polo field, and we were playing. I was playing with a band out there, and he happened to be there, and he came in and sat in on my drum set.
Ed's really modest. Everybody knows him. If you dig a little deeper, you find out he's hung out with Black Sabbath and all that. I mean, everybody.
Yeah, he's got a nice rundown. I was impressed by the material, and that's cool with the Ginger Baker. It's got to be a special thing to be a drummer and have that happen. Kip, yourself, a little bit on your musical background, how you got hooked up with these cats.
Well, I was born and raised here. I lived and played music in the mainland, played in Arizona and Vegas, California, a lot of places, a lot of different bands. And I moved back here a few years ago. Just been living here with my wife, and I met Richard, actually, when they were doing the project, putting the CD together. Richard was having a hard time finding a singer. And I actually got him on Craigslist. He put an ad out trying to find a singer, and myself, Chaz Lyons, and Eric Olmos, a couple of other great singers, are all on that CD.
Just Another Office Job
Just Another Office
the
Job.
new one, and we always like to support local music here, obviously. Proud of anybody in the islands putting out work, and
This is just a shameless plug while you're talking.
sure, no, we were listening to it downstairs earlier today. And on the singer front, certainly name a few of the people who you think inspired you to sing, because we're about to hear some of your work, and I always like to get a little background.
Well,
on where it came from.
I came up in the '90s, so all my rock heroes are like Eddie Vedder and Chris Cornell and
Lane Staley.
Staley, Scott Weiland.
Don't want to feed the guest bits, just improvising on the stuff they got. Nah, that sounds cool. Well, and it shows on the record. And they mentioned Van Halen. I did wear my new Van Halen hoodie just because I saw that on the material here, and as we were rocking it downstairs, it sort of had that feel. So we'll do a couple songs maybe from you guys if we can squeeze it in. What would you like to start with?
The title track, Just Another Office Job.
Okay. And where did any background on this before we hear the special HPR Atherton version of it?
The song, the inspiration for the song, the lyrics and the meaning? Okay, it's about the feeling of disappointment you get as a college graduate when you get a degree or 2 or 3 and you can't find any work because the economy is so weak. And you end up doing just another office job, some job you could have done straight out of high school with or without graduating, and that's
probably
what it's
a
about.
theme that a lot of folks can relate to, and
A lot of musicians, I think.
Musicians, it's probably always been a musician thing to relate to, the current economic realities, something too.
You've hit the nail on the head. Yeah.
And we're pleased to present it here live in our HPR Atherton Performing Arts Studio. Go for it, my brother.
Thank you.
Waiting on tables while I get my degree. Now I'm finished that, I'm just waiting to see where I'll end up once I send out my CV. Gonna make a difference. Everybody says I'm gonna do really well. This is more greatness, can't you tell? Just keep answering all those A's. Now see what I'm doing. Just another office job. Just another office job. Just another office job. Just another business hole. Sitting in my cubicle here all day, wondering why I'm not getting paid half as much as they said I would, even though they tell me I'm really good. Everybody says I'm gonna do really well. This is more greatness, can't you tell? Just keep answering all those heads. Now see what I'm doing. Just another office job. Just another office show. Just another office job. Just another business hole. Burn those bridges, burn them right down. Otherwise it's just gonna get down. Burn those bridges, burn them right down. Otherwise it's just gonna get ground down. Burn those bridges, burn them right down. Otherwise it's just gonna get ground down. Burn those bridges, burn them right down. Otherwise it's just gonna get ground down. You sit just right next to me, so why'd you ask me? Did I read that email that you sent to me about 1 minute ago? Why am I even here? Why am I even here? Yeah. I'm educated, got my master's degree. Opportunities are gonna open for me. At least that's what they keep telling me. I'm still standing out that damn TV. Everybody says I'm gonna do really well. This is boldness, can't you tell? Just keep answering all those heads. Let's see what I'm doing. Just another office job. Just another office job. Just another office job. Just another business hole. Just another office job. Just another office job. Just another office job. Just another business hole.
Well. Borrison Ivy live
Snuck up
here.
on me there.
HPR's Atherton Performing Arts Studio, and it's good for the room. It's healthy for the room. Yeah, the room has had so many different things in it. I'm sure Jason's in there thinking, man, there's a whole bunch of different stuff that we like to do in the room. It has a real electric feel, and it's cool to hear the nice sounds. I like it. Now I can understand the Randy Rhodes that you mentioned, because you have that kind of the phasing effect.
That's very kind of you.
That Randy always enjoyed using a lot of similar sort of effects. Well, we have enough time to squeeze one more jam in, I think, in our session here, because we want to do another jam while we have it here. I like the element of some live rock and roll in our studio. Another tune from the record. Is there a particular one that you guys would like to share with the audience?
I'm a little partial to Break Baby.
Me too.
Give us a little rundown. What's this one about?
This one, the lyrics and the meaning of it, I wrote it as a criticism of myself, actually. Looking in the mirror and realizing that in relationships, I come on too strong and too quickly and get head over heels in love and actually push people away because I'm too much, too fast, too strong. I've got to back off and really take it easy. So it was a very, very honest criticism of myself. So the lyrics are all about me and what I need to do to improve.
Very reflective. We love stuff like that. I don't think we could ask for more deep on a Friday afternoon here. All right, it's are we good in the studio in there? It's Borrison Ivy, ladies and gentlemen, here in the HPR Atherton Performing Arts Studio.
Say that I'm the one and on a true love like fate is meant to be, just you and me. Break, baby, put your love on hold. I'm drowning over here, getting out of control. Break, baby, put your love on hold. Your love is taking a toll. You do anything, oh, anything at all. Be right by my side, catch me if I fall. Break, baby, put your love on hold. I'm drowning over here, getting out of control. Break, baby, put your love on hold. Your love is taking a toll. Back off and give me space, back off and give me room, back off and give me time, back off, my life is mine. Like I'm going under, you're coming on this car, it's way too much and way too fast. Give me room and make it last. Break, baby, put your love on hold. I'm drowning over control. Break, baby, put your love on hold. Your love is taking a toll. Break, baby, put your love on